Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mr. Hydra, and this is Rust Console Edition. This is the second episode of my Power Surge Made Easy guide, and this episode is all about secondary systems and a few how to run them and a few examples of what you can do with them. Just some small examples. I will be showing you guys some better examples in the future, but this is just to get you guys going and help you guys with some copy and pasting. So the first secondary system is probably easily and by far the most important secondary system there is, and this is your automatic base lockdown system. So what this is doing is when activated, it's going to open any closed doors that you have and then immediately close them and immediately close any open doors. So if you're being raided or if you're logging out at the end of the night, you can come over here, you can activate this switch, and it's going to lock down every single one of the doors in your base. Now, the other way this also works, which I've just recently put onto this system, is this timer right here. So this is a pulse system where it's constantly sending out a pulse saying go, like power me up. And then I have a timer here. Now, this timer, when this goes off, will set off this timer. So why is that important? Well, if you're in a large group base and you guys don't want to have to worry about people hitting the switch to make sure all the doors are locked down at the end of the day, you can use this. So I have this set up to be to go off every 43 minutes because I don't want it to be on a 5 or a 0 because if it goes off like say every 30 minutes then people can realize it goes off every 30 minutes and can be waiting for it. So I have it set to 43 minutes so then that way it gives me more than enough time to run around in my base doing what I need to, not having to worry about opening and closing doors. And then for every 43 minutes my base will lock down, and then 43 minutes later. So it's a lot harder to keep track of. And then the second thing that's installed in this is it's only going to work when it's activated. So this laser right here, you want to make sure that this laser is either by your TC or in your most traveled and heavily area of your base, so people are constantly walking through it and triggering it, which is that blue light there. So once it's activated, let's just say that triggers it. We put that, and if you notice, we had two green lights on there for just a second. Well, that 1 second was long enough to activate all of the door controllers and make them do everything that they need to. But now that the system isn't activated because nobody's on, so we don't need to be closing any doors behind us because they should be closed anyway, it no longer works. That's why that green light isn't going. So only while your base is active will this actually work. And then it'll make sure that your base is locked down when the last person logs out of your base. So this is the lockdown system. Now we're going to go through the values here real quick, just so you have, so you guys know what they are for when you put them in your base. Um, Again, so if you need to set this up, do it now. And pause the video, get it all set up. I have the wires as neatly set up as I can. Again, this is really exaggerated because I want you to be able to see the gaps in between them. But yeah, so once this is set up, what we're going to do is go to this first one here, and we're going to configure this first one to be 8. Starting on the top row, we're going to go 5, 78, and 2. The last one here is going to be 2, so these last ones are default. Starting on the bottom row, we're going to go another default 2, and another default 2. So really, the only ones that you actually have to worry about are going to be these 3 here. So it's going to be 8, 5, and 78. So you have 78 power that you can use to play with after this. Now, When it comes to the doors, you can daisy chain the doors, no problem, because this is on a lockdown system. So even if everything should already be locked down if you're being raided. And if you know you're being raided, then you can hit the switch and everything's locked down. So if the door controller gets blown up, it doesn't matter. But you do kind of want to run them on separate systems. So kind of like the turret system over here. What I would do is I would run that main three-way splitter into these three-way splitters, and then you have 9 branches. And on each one of those 9 branches, you can run 8 doors. So you have a total of, what is it, 8 times 9? 72. So yeah, so you can have 72 doors in total on your secondary system, which is why I have this set to 78. Because you also need to be running these extra splitters as well. So for the power, and this whole system takes power itself, but then it also kicks out power. But yeah, so this is the lockdown system, and again, you can see it double flash, no double flash. And this timer is actually almost ready to go here, so we'll actually trigger it, and we'll let you hear that. Now, the next secondary system you're going to want to set up is obviously going to be your turrets. So there's different ways that you can run your turrets, but because all of your turrets require the same amount of power, it's pretty easy to use these three-way splitters. So for this first splitter right here, this is your standard 9. This is your standard 9 turret setup. So you have 1 turret set up to each one of these, and then into a splitter, and then from your main power source. Now, if we move down, we have 6 turrets set up here on this one, coming from your main power source, and you're going to configure, because that's how much you're going to need. You're going to need 30 and then 1 to run it, and then you're going to need another 31 to come out of here. So that's going to be 62, and then you have to run your main branch here. So you're going to need 63 power in total to run 6 turrets. So if you're running it off, say, your secondary system here, or your door camping system, whatever, that's where you're going to run off. Now, if you want to run, let's say, 5 turrets, this is how you're going to set it up. So you're going to run 1 turret off of here, which is going to be 10 power. And then you're going to run your next turret off of here, which will be another 10 power. And then you're going to be running your splitters here, which is 31 power. So in total, you need 31, 41, 42, 52 power. So you need 52 power in order to run that system. If you want to run 4, it's pretty easy. Again, you have your power coming in, and you need 42 power because you have 4 turrets and then 2 things, so you need to set it to 42 power. If you need 3 coming out, then you just run it off of your main source, and it's 31 power. And if you want 2, you come out of here, it's 21 power. And if you only want 1, then you run it off of your main source. So that's how you run your battery systems. Now, again, these ones are going to want to spread out throughout your base, but you're going to want to have them heavily protected because they do run your turrets. So these have to be heavily protected. And then same with these 2, you can spread them out across your base so they can be heavily protected. And then you keep this main here in your core with your other power system. And so on and so forth. You can keep this one in your main core and then run them off and stuff like that. So that's how you're going to be running your turret system off of your batteries, and how to run different turrets and how much battery power they cost. Now for your other secondary systems, so this is the same sort of lockdown system as the other one. But I only recommend that you use this one for really small bases. It requires only 10 power, I think, in total to run this whole system. So it's actually 13 power less than this system right here. But the only problem with this one is even though it's got the timer and everything else like that, there is no way to prevent somebody from hitting this switch. So this is really only meant for small bases that have singular door paths that lead to like a main loot room. You can use this system. But again, once they reach this system, they can keep flipping that switch and cycling your doors. But if it's on a single string of systems, then it won't matter. By the time they get to here, all of the doors will be destroyed anyway. So in order to configure this, we're going to set this to 90, set this to 2, and this last one is also going to be 2. So you can run a whole bunch of shitload, and you can also have it set to um, one of your electrical trees over there, and then you just specifically set however many doors you have after this, because you can run it on one string. So let's say you have 10 doors, then you have 10 power for your doors, 10 power for the system, so it only requires 20 power. So with this, you would be able to say run that on your secondary system, so that still leaves you enough power to run a whole bunch of your turrets, right? So that's 42 power plus 20 power, so you've got like 30 some odd power left over for these last two switches. Over here we have our heater systems. So again, these you can just daisy chain just like you did with the lights, because it doesn't matter. This isn't an important system. Just know that if one of these do get blown up, um, the rest of them will still stop working. But if you're being raided and one of these are blown up, I don't really think that you care about the heat anyway. So you know, these heaters though are a little special and different. They do take 3 power in order to run these systems. So something like this would be 3, 6, 9, 12 power in order to run, and you would have that just coming right off of your electrical branch from your tree. And again, this is another example of how you can set up a tree. If you don't want to go left to right, you can go up and down, and which is the same sort of thing you use here for your larger systems. Okay, and last but not least, we have a few cool things to set up here. So this is what I call a door camping alarm system. You have this heartbeat sensor sitting outside of your front door somewhere, and if anybody's within 3.5 squares of your front door, it will pick them up. And then you put this light inside your gatehouse or just inside your compound near that door, and it will flash. So if anybody's out there, it will flash. You'll know somebody's out there. You'll know not to go out your door. Same thing if you're in a small single solo base, you put one of these outside, and it's going to tell you if somebody's sitting there camping outside your door or not. Really cool system. And then these two systems right here, they work function with each other. So automatic entry systems. So where this system right here is only set to include non-authorized people, this system is going to be set to include only authorized people. So as soon as you get within 3.5 tiles of your front door, it's going to open your front door, which is really nice because if you want to have a garage door on your front door instead of a double door, because you want the speed coming in and out. So this allows you to put a garage door on your front door, and it'll detect you within 3.5 squares, and it's going to open that up for you. And then as soon as you hop inside, this thing is no longer going to be able to see you, and it's going to immediately close the door behind you. Um, so it allows you to have a garage door, and it'll close. It'll automatically be open when you come into your base, and will automatically close behind you. And then what a really nice thing is, you can pair it with this laser. So yeah, so you can pair it with this laser. So um, if most bases, 99% of bases, have an airlock system. So if you have this set up here on your first set of your airlock system, then you can have this set up inside that. So this system will go directly in front of your inside door, your second door, your laser, and it's going to be connected to that door. So as soon as you hop in your already open door, and you walk up to your airlock door, it's immediately going to open that airlock door for you, right? And then it's going to close that airlock door for you as soon as you walk into the base. So essentially, when you come into your base, your front door is already going to be open, and then you'll be able to go through that. And then it's going to immediately open your airlock door for you by itself. And then as soon as you pass through those, it's going to close both doors behind you. So anytime you're coming into your base, which is the scariest time because you're coming back from your loot runs, whatever, you don't want to die, your doors are automatically going to open. And then the beauty of it too is on your way out, you open your door and your airlock door. And then once you pass through that airlock door, you're going to hit trigger this laser again, which is automatically going to close that airlock door behind you. And then once you open your front door to leave, as soon as you run away from your front door, and this no longer detects you, it's going to close your front door. And also, in case you get killed in front of your front door, it'll also close your front door. So the only other recommendation I would give when adding this system into your design or a gatehouse is you want to add 2 shotgun traps with it. You want to add a shotgun trap behind your first door that's always open. So if somebody does try to jump in, they're going to get killed. And you want one inside your airlock door as well, because if they do manage to get past that first auto shotgun and they do manage to hit the laser and open up the door and they somehow do manage to get inside, well, then that shotgun trap is there to take care of them. So believe me, when you're coming and going and running out of your base, this system is going to help you huge. Um, yeah, so these are the main, most important secondary systems that I would install into your base, especially one of these lockdown systems. If you just have a small base, you throw in one of these lockdown systems, and if you have a larger base, throw in this bad boy right here. And believe me, when you can lock down 72 doors in your base without ever having to leave one room, um, and if you never have to close a single door behind you when you're running through your base, especially these group bases, because it's already going to do that for you, the amount of time you save coming and going out of your base is ridiculous. So, um, oh, and I mentioned it in the other video, but auto light system. So solar panel, battery, this setup right here, and that's just default too. So that's how you set up your secondary systems. I will be doing a video on this system right here on how it works, and that'll be included in probably my next episode. And then I'm going to be doing one more episode where I actually break down these systems and how they all work. So for those who want a little bit more information. So yeah, I hope this helps. This is Power Surge Made Easy. My name is Mr. Hydra. Please like, subscribe, comment, all that fun stuff. It definitely helps me. My channel's been growing quite a bit in the last almost 6 weeks that I've had it. So yeah, thank you guys very much, and have yourselves a great day.